Greetings from Snake Mountain Boatworks. On Friday, May 28, 2021, Mistake, our 1959 17-foot Chris Sportsman, is about to do flips. Well, we hope she only does one flip. Joe and his dad, Rick, and this is not the best way to introduce somebody, but Rick, welcome to Snake Mountain Boatworks.
Thank you, Mike.
Rick has joined the crew, so we got a father and son duo saving ancient woodies.
Yeah.
So we will be flipping her in our standard manner, using a pull rope to control and flip the boat for us and with us. The problem with these boats, and this one's going to be quite a challenge because she's quite beamy for her length. They tend to turn the first 90 degrees very easily and then just sit there and smile at you and say, okay, let's see what you got. Well, what we've got is a small winch right here, and our method is as follows. We take a piece of heavy line, tie it to this bilge stringer right here. We will then run the line over the gunnel, padding the gunnel in the process so that we don't get any abrasion. We will pass the line beneath the hull, up the port side, over the roller, and down to the winch. And what that does is keep the boat rolling. By passing the line over the roller, it tends to control the speed at which it flips. Now, you remember, a month, 6 weeks ago, was it, Joe? We flipped the race boats, the Miss Packard, and none of that good planning works. She just flipped on her own, but she's 26 feet long with only a 6-foot beam. This boat is 17 feet long with about something close to a 7-foot beam. So we'll set this up, do a little time lapse fun, and see if we can flip her over and get ready to start removing her existing bottom. Be back soon. All right, we're just about ready to begin raising. And you can see we have the winch and the pulling line going over the roller and down the port side, under the bottom, up the starboard side. So this thing from the looking forward from the transom, this is going to rotate counterclockwise. So we'll get started. There we have her flipped and on shop dollies. As you can see, we have an interesting challenge ahead of us. First thing is some required research. This chine setup is, maybe Chris did this in 1959 on this model, but this looks like This has had some major adjustments to it. Usually the chine plank comes and meets the bottom at the chine. And as you can see, this one is not built that way. But we'll be doing some research on that. We're trying to figure out what the goop is. It is, as you can see, it has curtained everywhere. It has failed. It almost looks like axle grease, but it can't be, right? It can't be axle grease. Somebody has clearly taken and driven a bunch of nails in here. What do you think it is?
That seam sealer.
The gooey one? Mm-hmm. Well, here's the problem with this product. It curtains out as the wood expands and contracts. We've got some issues right here with a distorted profile. I don't see any major cracks in the planking, but we'll know more once we, you see here, this is what a bad trailer does to the bottom of a boat. This is hogged all in here because those bunks did not fit the boat. They were too narrow, and they stopped in between ribs. You don't want your lead ends of your bunks to stop in between ribs. At least they do miss the through hull. But now that we've got her upside down and stable, we will tape off and mask from the boot top down below the gunnel on both sides. This varnish really is in very nice shape, and we certainly don't want to mar it. We'll take the nose piece off. Remember, this model did not have a cutwater as such. I guess we have a little straightening to do there. Maybe that was put back on after a long night, or maybe during that long night of imbibing. Certainly not right. We do have some splitting here. We have some pretty serious splitting right here and here. So on the port side, the outboard bottom plank has some challenges, but we really can't tell until we get this paint off of here. Because the sides are varnished, we don't want to have paint remover on the hull itself, and therefore we will use our rotobroach cutters to clean out the countersinks and release the fasteners so that we can get all these boards off still painted, and then strip them once they're off the boat. The strut in good shape, not distorted. Looks like the owners have been successful at avoiding nasty underwater enemies. Yeah, this bunk, well, they're too narrow. That's one of the problems. These bunks appear to be about 2.5 inches wide. We always try to standardize on bunks that are at least 5 inches wide, maybe 6, so that we can spread the load a little bit. So, she's upside down. Miss Take is ready to be stripped. We'll be back to you soon. Thank you so much. From Snake Mountain Boatworks.